YouTube, how you doing? Just gonna hop on here and do a quick live stream for a little bit. See if anybody hops on. I give it like 5 minutes. If nobody hops on, I'll just call it a day. Talk. I'll do one tomorrow. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Just going with one live stream. Thanks for the thumbs up. Was about to call it a night, but I figured to hop on here for about 20 minutes or so. I'm not quite tired yet. I was tired earlier and crashed. Yeah, I just was kind of bored and felt like hopping on here. So, wait a minute, hang on. Oh. Yeah. What's the deal with are you able to? Well, you weren't able to talk on the other channel. You said I couldn't figure out why that was, and the only thing I could think of it was age restricted, or something else got hit. Like you said, maybe I hit. So I looked through that thing. I couldn't figure out how to. That happened before to somebody. I can't remember who it was, and wasn't able to correct it. I don't know what the hell that is. Maybe it'll correct itself. Anyway, forgot what the hell I came on here for. Shit. Oh, there was one thing I was going to say is there's a Democrat from New Hampshire that evidently is changing sides. He was over there talking about this whole, basically their whole agenda, and he's just tired of it, and he's standing against it, and everybody walked out on him, all the Democrats and everything. See, that's at least took some guts that the guy didn't think like everybody else, and he didn't agree with them, and he had the balls to stand up and say, "No, I'm not doing this. I'm not being that." And that's the thing with Democrats will stick to each other forever and a day, even if they're wrong. They'll walk right off a cliff following somebody, and they don't think for themselves, in my opinion. That's just the way I look at it. Wait a minute, hang on for a minute. Let me see something. All right. Earlier I was talking about also how they seem to be the party of death and destruction and chaos, the Democrats right now. You know, burning up people's Teslas and rioting and doing all this shit that doesn't do anybody any good. And wait a minute, there you go. Who's that? Hello, Doyle. How you doing? Just hopped on here for a few minutes, talking about the death cult. The Democrats, and it's ironic because I happen to say, yo, if there's somebody else hopping on there. I happened to say earlier today, it's as if, I don't know if you know who Shiva is. It's like the destroyer. It's a Hindu goddess. Anyway, I was saying that about him earlier, and here William Mount too is a channel on YouTube. His headline or his title, he was talking about the Democrats. He said almost the same thing, that they're basically destroying everything. They're the destroyers. It's just weird because that's exactly what's going on. It's chaos, it's destruction, and they don't give a shit. They're just out to ruin everything. They're like poor losers, spoiled sports, whatever you want to call them. They lost the election. When when it was the other way around, we were called what do you call it? Election deniers. Because we didn't agree with letting them cheat. Because they did. They obviously did, in my opinion. And now they're throwing a fit and they're burning down the country and they're going after Elon Musk and his Teslas and shit. And you know what? I I could take or leave Elon Musk. You know, don't hate him, don't like him. I don't. I'm somewhere in the middle. But you know something? What he's doing is right. Somebody needs to go through there with a fine tooth comb and see where all the stolen money's going, and stop the shit. In my opinion, that's the only way we'll ever save what's left of this country, if there's anything left, is we got to slam the brakes and we got to go after the people who are stealing and just destroying and taking everything. Selfishness. It's got to stop, or otherwise, the country's going down the toilet straight up. You know, absolutely. And I don't know. It's just it's sad because I've been around for a long while, and I can see a massive change in the Democrat Party. And in the last 10 years, they just got more and more rotten. And part of it, in my opinion, is when you take God out of everything you're doing, and you're pushing God out of everything, taking it out of in God we trust, and anything that like that's on our money. Maybe it shouldn't be in a way because it, money is the root of all evil, they say and stuff. But the point being is, they're taking God out of school. You're not allowed to talk about God. There's certain places over in Europe, and it's starting to probably happen here, where you can't stand out in front of an abortion clinic and pray without getting arrested. It's happened over there just for praying, and not even praying out loud. Cops came up to a guy in Germany and asked him what he was doing. He said he was praying for his unborn child who was getting ready to be aborted because the woman wanted to get the abortion, the guy didn't, and he was standing there, and the cops came up and asked him what he was doing. I guess they thought he was getting ready to protest or whatever over there. And it's just bullshit. The guy was just praying in his own head, but he happened to admit to it. He said, "No, I'm just saying a prayer for my unborn child." And they dragged him off. There's something evil going on. They're sacrificing babies. It's not just an abortion. It's not just like we'll just get rid of this. This is a problem. That's not a problem. It's a child who has a soul. It's one of God's creations, and I don't think it's right to just go and kill them. That's just my opinion, and I think it's feeding demons, basically. Like I said, it's a sacrifice. Anyway, I don't know how I got rolling off into this subject, other than I was talking about the Democrats are. There's the reason why, because they're all totally pro-abortion, and it's just, to me, I don't know. You know what? I'm going to change the subject because it's actually, to me, it bothers me to even think about. Little kids don't even have any way of protecting themselves from that, and they're being killed off. And I don't know. I got to change the subject. For some reason, it's bothering me right now. Because the value of human life, they're trying to cheapen it. I'll just say that much. And it won't stop there. You know who else they're going to abort? Grandma and grandpa. Except for it's called euthanasia. They'll put them out of our misery. You know what I'm saying? Not out of their misery. It's ridiculous. Human life's become cheap. Hence, that's why we're sending billions of dollars over to the Ukraine all that time to kill people we don't even know over there. Hit them with missiles. That wasn't Trump's doing. That was the Biden and the Biden regime were wanting to keep that war going. Go after Russia. Go after. They started that whole thing. The deep state started that whole war over there, and kept it going, kept it hot the whole time. And I don't know. Like I said, I don't even know why all of a sudden, all of a sudden, I'm talking about shit I didn't really want to talk about. But I don't know. I'm just going to, you know what? I think what I'm going to do, is anybody on there? Three on there? I was just going to pull the plug on this and call it a night, but I'll hang around. I forgot a couple people on there. Wait a minute. Wait a second. Hang on. Yeah, something else. I'll change the subject because it was something else I happened to see that I wanted to talk about as well. I don't remember what it was. I don't know. I ain't gonna find it. Screw it. I was looking on that. I was looking in my other phone. Yeah, I think instead I'll just call it a night and come back on tomorrow or something. I ain't in the mood right now. I was in the mood earlier. You guys have a good night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. See you later. By the way, thanks for hitting me up with the thumbs up. Appreciate that.